Okay, so I'm out here with this, my new project vehicle, the e83 X3, and what I'm about to do today is change the gas cap on it. So now this might seem like, oh wow, what's the big deal changing a gas cap? Yeah, I mean, not to mention the aesthetic part of the fact that this is broken. But from working with my E46, oftentimes if you get you have a gas cap that has some years on it, it can actually, the seal on here, see that little gasket around there, it can become compromised. And even though this gasket looks like it's totally fine, just like it was with my E46, it oftentimes it can be flattened, so it might not necessarily have to crack and be obvious. It could just flatten out, and you could end up with codes. I think one of the codes was P0544, just pretty much to say that there's a leak in the system. But the leak actually sometimes can be coming from right around here, because that little gasket on here that forms the seal isn't working well. It's actually possible, well, it was, to get just that little gasket and replace it there. With shipping and all of that kind of stuff, I just went ahead and got a cap. There were some options on eBay that were really cheap, but I figured that this is just one of those things that it wasn't too bad. The part cost me 20 something from the dealer. I just bought it online at the nearby dealership and had them send it to me, and it wasn't bad. It just cost me 20 something dollars for a new one. So I figured that why get a gasket and then, you know, try to fix this old one when, you know, it's already pretty raggedy, plus this little thing here is broken. And so I'm like, you know what, I might as well. So what's kind of cool is how they have this little thing here, so that if you're filling up the gas, you could just put this in here in the meantime, you know. So it's pretty windy today because there's a storm that's ravaging further north. Ooh, this thing is much worse than I thought. Look at that. Look at that. It's like breaking. Oh, look at that. It just broke off. Wow. I see why it's separated. So if this is the condition of this rubber, then maybe that gasket is actually gone. So all you gotta do is push this here and it comes out. So what I have here, yeah, I'm also gonna replace, okay, so I'm gonna post a video about this one. This is a story in itself, because if you're getting an E83, I'm gonna try to post some videos on here to just save people a lot of pain, because I just have been learning about these, like, you know, my E46, I learned about that as I was going along and got a lot of help from the guys on the forums and that kind of thing, reading from some of their challenges. But there's not much information on E83, and so that is kind of rough, because just yesterday I heard about someone that had an E83 and really liked it, and she ended up having to trade it in after 4 years or something like that, because it just was so much trouble for her. She was just having to pay so much to maintain it. And I really, as much as I like this vehicle, it's a fun drive, it's kind of zippy. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have a lot of money to throw at it, or you know how to, you're a little handy with, you know, around an engine, around a vehicle, or you're not afraid to get a little handy and learn this stuff. And it does take a little bit of courage, because the first time I got into my E46, you know, I looked at how it was such a tight space in there. How am I gonna get all of these parts out? I had to take out so many things to be able to access what I wanted to. I didn't have all the tools at first, but eventually you'll get there. This one seems a little bit different, but I got it from the dealership, so let's see. Alright, so I'm just gonna take the old one out, just place it down there, and so this little thing here should just slip into here like that, and then this should fit nicely into here and turn until it clicks. Okay, well, that's good. Alright. Okay, this one, I guess it has a specific orientation for it to click. Alright, so that's the new thing, and they can stick on there. And I did buy this from the dealership. If not, I would have thought that it seems a bit light. So I'm like, is this an authentic part? But it came from the dealership, so should be authentic. It doesn't seem as robust as the original one, but you know. Oh yeah, I turn and there's the click. Alright, so there it is. That's just replacing the gas cap, which can cause a lot of codes. I mean, even with my E46, there were a lot of codes that came up, you know, like some gremlin codes that you're just wondering, well, what exactly is causing it. And after I changed the gas cap, which seemed fine, I mean, that old gas cap that I had on my E46 I'm talking about now, it looked like this, normal and fine. There were no cracks, nothing obvious. So, you know, again, I read the forums. These guys were saying, hey, it might be the gas cap. You know, I mean, I'm not one to run away from good counsel. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And sure enough, as opposed to chasing more expensive parts, it was a good place to start. And fixing the gas cap had my check engine light disappear and a lot of the error codes that were showing up on there. So I hope this helps somebody, and have a wonderful day.